Hi, I'm Jennifer of Celtic Knot Crochet, and today in this video I'm going to show you how to make this water bottle cozy. It would fit a wide variety of water bottles, and it uses the same stitch all the way around after you've worked out this bottom circle, which I'll show you how to do. What you'll need for this project is a small amount of Bernat Maker Home Deck yarn. It's put out by Yarnspirations. This particular color is Woodberry, as you can see here. It is a bulky yarn, and you'll want to use size L or 8mm hook. This is one of my favorite hooks here I found at Hobby Lobby. Of course, you'll need some scissors, a wide or large eye yarn needle, since this is thick yarn, and you'll also need one plastic cord stop. They come in little round circles like this, or you can get longer oval ones, and that is just for the top of your bottle here. And if you can't find these, you can find them online, also at the link in the description below, but you could also just tie it off with a knot, or overhand bow is fine too. So let's get started. Just wanted to mention a little side note about the water bottle. This pattern works best if you're using a water bottle that has some kind of lip before the opening. So something like this, so that when you pull up the cover and snug it up at the top, like so, it stretches out your stitches and it stays on nicely. So if you have a water bottle that does not have a little lip here, this might not work for it. For this water bottle cozy project, I would rate it a confident beginner or easy, because you would need to know how to do single crochet, double crochet, chain, and then half double crochet. And then this stitch right here I will show you how to do, and it is a variation of a half double crochet. To begin this project, you'll need to work an adjustable ring. Sometimes it's called a magic ring or a slip knot ring. So how to do this is you take the end of your yarn, wrap it over your non-working hand, wrap it around where your knuckles are, and meet back up at the top, and cross over and hold it by pinching with your thumb. Then you're going to take your hook and you're going to go through the loop you just made and grab the yarn, the working yarn, and pull it through like so. So we have the loop around our hands, and then we pulled a loop of the working yarn through that large loop, and then you pinch that starting loop right there. Get your hands ready to crochet, and then I put my fingers of my non-working hand back inside the big loop, and here's that loop I made, little loop, by pulling through, and then I yarn over and chain one, and that locks that in place. And then I can continue the stitches that I need to do around the inside of the ring. If you want a step-by-step slower process of this adjustable ring, just click right here, and I have a whole video just on that technique. We're going to work 6 single crochets right in this big adjustable ring. So that was 1. Put my hook in, yarn over, pull through the loop, yarn over, pull through 2. That's a single crochet. I'm going to do 4 more like that. So I have a total of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then this is where the magic happens. I untwist that yarn tail from the beginning. Here's my loop, and I pull that yarn tail, and that closes up that center hole just like so. And now I'm going to work into that first single crochet right here of the round and slip stitch, which is yarn over and pull through the stitch and through the loop on my hook. And there I have 6 single crochets in an adjustable ring. Now for round 2. You're going to chain 3, and then you're going to do a double crochet in that same first stitch where we put the slip stitch. So yarn over, hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And I just completed a double crochet, and these stitches now count as 2 double crochets. Then I'm going to chain 2 and do the same thing in the next stitch. Yarn over, hook into that next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, hook into that same stitch for 2 double crochets. So I'm going to complete that around, chain 2, and then 2 double crochets in each stitch. Now at this point, if you have a very small water bottle, then you might want to make these stitches shorter. You might want to make them half double crochet instead of the taller double crochet. Sorry, just yarn over once. And then I chain 2 one more time after I've gone all the way around, and then I'm going to slip stitch right into the top of that starting chain 3. And that closes up the circle. Now I'm on round 3. So I'm going to slip stitch in that next stitch, the next double crochet, and then slip stitch into that first chain 2 space. Then I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to work 2 more stitches in here. That chain 2 counts as the first one, and I just did a half double crochet and another half double crochet. Then I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to skip these 2 double crochets, and I'm only going to work in these chain 2 spaces, and I'm going to put 3 half double crochets right here. So let me review again. Half double is you yarn over, put your hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3, yarn over, hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. And I do 3 of those in that chain 2 space. Then I chain 2 and do that again, and I'll put chain 2, 3 half double, chain 2, 3 half double around the circle. I chain 2 at the very end after my last set of 3 half doubles, and now I'm going to put a slip stitch in that starting chain 2 right at the top. Put my hook in, yarn over, pull through that stitch and through the loop on my hook. And there I have completed the 3rd round. Now the 4th round, we're going to be working in the back loop only. So normally when you crochet, see these 2 loops here, we go under those with our hook, right under like that. But for this round, we're going to go through the back loop of every stitch around. Now there is one small technique that we can do if you would like. When we come up on the half double crochets, we can go through that back loop and the back bar here, and that will just help our shape of the water bottle cozy. But that's optional. You don't have to choose to do that. So I'll show you how to do that. You're going to chain 1, and we're going to work single crochets. So I'm going to work in this back loop, but I'm also going to put my hook through that back bar. To show you again, through the back loop, and on the back you can see there's that back bar. So I'm going to go through the back loop and through the back bar, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through 2. And I'll continue that. When I get to the chains, I'll just go in that back loop here of the chain. And then when I get to my stitches, go in those, the back bar and the back loop. And I'll continue working in each stitch and each chain all the way around. I've gone all the way around with the single crochet in that back loop only, and now I'm going to join with a slip stitch in that first single crochet. So now I can put my hook under both loops, yarn over, pull through stitch, and through the loop on my hook. And now I've completed the base. And this is a good time to check and see if it will fit your water bottle. My water bottle tends to be pretty big. So I can see that it just fits underneath there, but it has a lot of stretch to it. So once I put it on and pull it up, you'll see how much it stretches, and that would put this right along that bottom edge of the water bottle. So this is a good time to check. Like I said, you might want to do these double crochets as smaller stitches. You could go down to half double, or you could even do single crochet if you have a smaller water bottle. The base of my water bottle is about 3.5 inches across. So if yours is smaller, you might want to use those smaller stitches in place of the ones we did. But the pattern would be the same. You just have shorter stitches. So now we're going to start working up the side of the water bottle cozy. And I'll show you how to do this stitch that you see on the side. This is a half double crochet, 2 together. And we're going to work them around this first row here where we skip 1 stitch in between, and then from there on out we're going to work in chain 3 spaces, alternating to give it that macrame or honeycomb look. First you want to chain 2, and then we're going to start like we would normally start for a half double crochet, and we're going to go into that same stitch that the slip stitch and the chain 2 are coming out of. Yarn over, put my hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on my hook. Normally for a half double I would yarn over and pull through all 3, but I'm not going to finish this half double. I'm going to leave it as it is, and I'm going to start another one. Yarn over and put my hook into the next stitch. Yarn over, pull up a loop. Now I have 5 loops on my hook. Yarn over, twist my hook so it can fit through all those loops, and pull it out. And now I have this nice cluster stitch right here. I'm going to chain 3, then I'm going to skip the next stitch, and then I'm going to work in the next 2 after that. So half double crochet, 2 together again. Yarn over, put your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, put your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, 5 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 5. Then I'm going to chain 3, skip 1, and then repeat the special stitch again. Here you can see I've completed the half double crochet 2 together around the entire circle, and I have 1 more stitch here left to skip, and I'll chain 3 one more time here at the end, and then I'm going to put a slip stitch right in the top of this cluster stitch here, the first one of the round. Now you can see each round is going to have a chain 2 to begin it, and I like to put my slip stitch a little bit over, so I'm going to put my slip stitch right here where that first chain starts, like so. And it's just a yarn over, pull through the stitch and through the loop on my hook. And I just think it looks better than working into this area of the first stitch. So that's where I'm going to do it. So that's round 5 completed. Now round 6, whatever we do for round 6, we're going to continue until we reach the height of your water bottle. So this is the round that we'll be repeating several times. So I've completed round 5, and now I want to do a slip stitch into that first chain 2 space. Then I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to work the half double crochet 2 together inside this space. So I'm not going to technically be joining 2 stitches, but I'm going to do the same process that I did down here. Now I'm just going to do it in the space. So I'll show you. I'm going to yarn over, put my hook into the space, yarn over, pull up a loop. 3 loops on my hook. Then I'm going to go ahead and do that again, making the second half of the stitch. Yarn over, hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop. So I have 2 half double crochets like before, and I have 5 loops on my hook, and then I yarn over and pull through all 5. And you can scooch it up like this so that chain 2 is close by. Then I'm going to chain 3, and now I'm going to work in the next chain 3 space and do the same thing as before. Yarn over, hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop, 5 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through all 5, and then chain 3 again. So this moves very quickly once you've hit this round, because you're working in just these spaces and you have the nice thick yarn and big hook. Now here's a little tip for you as you're making these cluster stitches. You want to make sure that you have a good balance of how tall and how big your loops are. So yarn over, put your hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop. But if you make it too big like this, then I'll show you. Your stitch is just going to be really, really loose. And then you're going to have loops going all over the place, and it could kind of look wonky on you. So to prevent it from doing that, I have a little tip that you just want to keep it as tight as you can without being too tight. So you yarn over, put your hook in, yarn over. When you pull up, I snug everything together. See how it's just enough to move my hook around? It's not extended like this. It's snugged down as close as I can. And then in the nature of making the next part of the stitch, it will loosen up a little bit, and you don't have to worry about that. So if after the first half you snug it up, then yarn over, put your hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop. Now it's loosened up just a little bit, and that's just what you need to twist and pull through. And now you have a nice tighter cluster stitch. So I'll show you that again. Yarn over, hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop, snug it up, yarn over, hook in, yarn over, pull up a loop. Now it's relaxed a little, and then yarn over, pull through everything, and you have a nice cluster. And I've come to that last chain 3 space. I'm going to chain 3 one more time. And here's that first cluster of the round. And here's the top of the cluster, but I told you I like to go in this spot right there. So I'm going to put the hook right there, yarn over, pull through everything for my slip stitch. And I'm going to continue repeating round 7 until when I hold it up to the water bottle and I stretch it up, it's enough rounds to cover the side of my water bottle. So it'll be different for everybody. There's a lot of give in this yarn. So for my example, I did 7 total rounds up the side of my water bottle. So my water bottle height is about 7 inches. And it's pretty standard height. It's very wide, but this is a pretty standard height, but there are many that are taller. So you just hold it up and measure it up against your water bottle. So here's my water bottle, put it inside, and then stretch. You see how it stretches up like that. So I would just do 5 rounds and see how it measures, and then you can figure out as you go whether you need 6, 7, or more rounds to reach the top edge here, the lip of your water bottle. Little side note, the reason I made this water bottle cozy several years ago was because I got this water bottle for free, but it had a company emblem on it here, and I didn't like it. So I blacked it out with black Sharpie, but it was still not very pretty. So I thought it would be fun to cover up the ugly company logo that I didn't like with my fun crocheted water bottle cozy. So in order to hide your yarn tail and secure this adjustable ring from the beginning, I put my yarn needle on the yarn tail and go through a stitch right near the beginning. And I make sure I hold that loop before I pull it all the way through, so that I can put my yarn needle back through the loop and tighten it. And I'll do that a couple times. I'm creating a knot which will help keep that adjustable ring from opening up on me. And then once I've created the knots and I feel that it's nice and secure, then I will pass through a bunch of stitches to hide that yarn tail, like so. And then trim it right up next to the stitching. And now that center adjustable ring is nice and secure, and my yarn tail has been hidden. Okay, so I've completed my 7 total rounds here of the cluster stitch, and if you compare this one to that one, well, they're about the same size, but they do stretch quite a bit. So I've tested already, but I'm going to put it on my water bottle like so, and just make sure the bottom is centered like that. And you can see it reaches all the way to that top area. And now to keep it on, you'll want to chain a length of about 30. You want it to go all the way around the top of your water bottle with a little bit extra. That's about 1.5 inches, 2 inches of extra on both ends. So again, if your water bottle isn't as thick around as mine, you can adjust the amount of chains. Just experiment with it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to thread this chain over and under through these spaces at the top of my water bottle cozy. So I just start like that. I have one end coming out right here, and then I go under, over, all the way around. Doesn't take long to do so. You can do it when it's not on the water bottle. Either way is fine. And because of the number of spaces there are, I'm going to cross over when I get to the end. So if you want. So I have them both coming out, but they don't meet up at the same spot here. But I can pull it up and see, does that hold it like I like? Yeah, that would work. Another option is, if you would like it tighter, is I kept going with this side one here and came up, went past this end and continued the over under, but just had it cross over like this. So you could see I have the starting end here and the ending end, and I just continued the over under past the beginning so they crisscross behind them, and you can do that as well. Now you could just tie them together. I did that for years. You could just tie them in a knot or tie them in a bow so you can undo it and take it off and wash it when you need to. But another thing you can use are these cord stops. I found them in the sewing area or I think it was either in the sewing area or the macrame section of Hobby Lobby. You can find these online too, and if you look closely, when you depress this, there's your hole, but then the spring brings it back up, and that prevents the cord from coming through, hence cord stop. So what I did to thread these on is I used my yarn needle and put the yarn tail through, and then you have to press down on the cord stop so you can see the hole, and keep it pressed while you pull your end through. I'll zoom it in a little bit there. And then I will do the same thing with the other one. Put my yarn needle on the yarn tail, and this is trickier because you already have one in there. Press it so the hole is open, feed your yarn needle through, press it again, and there you go. And then you can cinch it up and make it as tight as you'd like. And then for the ends of the cords of the chains here, I just did an overhand knot like this. So it would be finished off nicely and had the knot end right at the end of the chain. Pull it super tight, snip it about a ½ inch away, and do that on this other side. Now I'd like to add one more piece to this project. After I posted this pattern to my blog, a few people talked about carrying their water bottle because of this cozy. And originally I did not have a handle built into this project, but I decided to add a handle idea for you at the end of this video. So you decide how long you want your handle to be. And what you're going to want to do is chain a length of the handle you would like. So if you'd like this to hang down across your shoulders and have it nice and long, just chain however long that is and then double it. So for this one, I'm going to do a shorter handle that's about this long, like so. So I chained 70 with the yarn we've been using and the 8mm hook, and then I worked single crochet across. So I'll show you just a simple demonstration of that right here. So here's your chain. This is the front of the chain. This is the back of the chain with bumps, and we're going to work in that back bar all the way across the chain. So I chain 70 and then I skip the first chain, and then I'm going to insert my hook in that back bump, yarn over, pull through the bump, then yarn over, pull through 2, and that's a single crochet. And you just work that all the way down. And what that does, it creates this nice cord that has the same look on the top as well as the bottom. So you'll create your handle in that manner, and then you'll want to lightly loosen the cord that is keeping it on top, and you'll take one end of your handle and put it right through one of those chain 3 spaces like this, and then you're gonna make sure it doesn't twist, and you're going to look for the opposite side, so about right there, and you're going to put the other end of the cord of the handle through a chain 3 space on the other side. And I'm just testing to make sure it's not twisted, and I'm going to bring these 2 ends together, and using the yarn tail I'm going to sew the 2 ends right like so, just a nice overhand stitch like this. Like that. And then I'm going to pull up my handle, so where I just joined these 2 sections, 2 ends of the handle, come up to the middle of the other part of the handle, and then this just gives a double strength to it. And I'm going to go through and sew through both thicknesses now of the handle. Like so. Now there's this other tail here that I'll probably tie a nice double knot with, and then I would weave in my ends, and the last step would be to tighten that cord around the top, and now I have a nice sturdy handle. And again, you can make it as long as you want it. This you could put on your wrist, or you could put on your belt loop, and it would hang down. You wouldn't have to worry about it while you were exercising. Or you could make it nice and long so it hangs across your body. And there you have it. That's how you make the crochet water bottle cozy. I hope you enjoyed making this project. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and click to subscribe. And I'll see you at the next video.